bitch.
Yeah, she's in
Messy
here right
ass.
now. Let her listen. Amberly,
Nikki.
I want you to listen with your eyes and watch with your ears. Listen with your eyes and watch with your ears, because obviously we don't listen with our ears and watch with our eyes. So let's reverse it around. You know, taste with your nose and smell with your mouth. Okay? Okay. No, not you. Okay. So let's listen to it. Let's listen to this. Amberly, you're Norwegian. Get it together. Follow me. Pen, paper. Write it down. Okay? You are a Norwegian. Norwegian. I'm gonna need you to dread it up, baby. Dread it up. Any hootie. Besides that, you only have a relationship with your nieces and nephews on false pretenses that they will ever have anything to do with Chris again. Okay. Just wanted to let you know that. And do you know how hard it is for Chris to say that you were his sister? And that the only reason that we have any connection whatsoever... Hold on. Hold on.
Up to mouth.
Nothing. Y'all just chit chat for a minute. Just chit chat.
Hey, B.
They said, hey, Kyler.
You're gonna have to wait next year until I can get that $50.
Just hold on. Whoa. Hold on. Y'all.
Hi, Caleb. You didn't call me, Bubba.
Oh, you don't have your gingerbread?
No, I don't have a gingerbread up. I want them to see me tasting for real this time.
Oh my God, Sam, shut up.
Oh, let me see them bad boys. Give it to me. Give it to me now. I'm getting me right in the leg right now. Give it to me. Give me the whole thing. Give me the whole thing, Caleb. Give me the whole thing.
I got you, Mom.
Y'all fisting to watch it happen in real life, real
Hey,
time.
you tasting the baby? I got rubber, or I got plastic on, or whatever.
Y'all ready?
Taste
Y'all
it.
fisting to watch it in real life. I'm gonna need you to yell real loud, okay?
Ah!
Oh, God. It scared the piss out of them. Well, because she's heartbroken. I almost just tased my fucking self. Just to let you know.
Oh Lord, that would
Hey, you
not be.
forgot to turn it off.
Yes, no, I didn't. No, I did. I'm about to tase myself again.
Yeah.
That's funny that they think they can get a reaction
for
on
the
these
ones that
things.
were wondering,
That is so crazy.
yeah, I don't know what the water did tell me.
Does Mama C know about what was said?
I need $5,000.
Oh, and Amber's giving me money. I got you, athletics.
Everybody
Come on,
send
baby.
money to Golden Burger Boy. $5.
I don't, Tyler.
Apparently, you were effing Sam, and I'm effing Sam. So, yeah.
Hey, I've never seen Sam.
Mama C, go with it. Go with it, Mama.
You know what? They got it all wrong. I'm the one effing Sam. Get it right, people.
Uh-oh.
That's fucking crazy.
Hold on, athletic.
Yeah.
Wow.
First it was, well, Kyler's fucking Sam, and then it was, well, Mama C's fucking Sam, and then it was...
I just
know
want to
after
say
that.
this real quick. I'm going to make this real quick, and I'm going to hop out because I got to go to bed. I don't really know any of y'all. I've been watching Sam for, God, forever since the dog situation. But I would like to know, while everybody's here, because I have another account they're not aware of, when have I ever been in this box besides now?
Never.
I don't even know who you are. Okay, because he's over there mentioning my name. You might, and I don't care if he's watching, you might want to get your facts straight because I've never been in Sam's box. I've been in the comments and I just sit and watch.
Yep.
That was exactly what I was just gonna say, athletic. If you have, so if you've commented and been involved, I would have knew. I heard them call you out.
Right, I don't even say anything. I say something here or there, like I know you and I know him, but to put my name in the middle of this when I don't even get in boxes and I don't even say anything, you might want to get it together because he done opened a can of worms and I promise you I'm the wrong bitch.
You know what I'm thinking though, athletic club. You know how you've never been in my box.
Never.
I would like y'all to show me proof of athletic club athletic fam ever being in my box. This is the funniest thing about it. That
Well,
shows
they said they have screenshots and they have me talking crap, me talking shit.
maybe they have a whole screenshot of a course that never happened.
Look, I'll talk to you all day, every
Please
day.
show it. Please show me because I'm oblivious. I heard my name and I'm like, what did I do? But you're gonna bring me into it. You better get your shit under control because if you're gonna call me out, I'll bring it right back to you. And if you don't like the feelings hurt, and I'm gonna just keep it at that.
Well, I thought it was odd, and I thought I had missed something. I thought maybe you had crossed boundaries somewhere else.
No. Other than me bouncing back and forth.
I thought maybe you had been somewhere else and in some other drama or something that I didn't know
Hell
about.
no. I literally
I
sit
was
and
like-
watch, and I've been watching since, I don't know, 2019. 2020.
Yeah, 2020 is when I think Xander passed.
So,
But see, I'm different than them. You can come in. You don't have to do nothing. You can listen, and there's a reason why I let people listen.
with
Because
his
if
mom.
you listen
He
over
don't-
here
he-
and you listen over there,
He's over there.
see, they talked about you.
He's over there saying and bringing people involved. Y'all don't even know the flavor of the Kool-Aid because you're bringing people in that you think that are talking shit, and I haven't. So, not y'all, but them over there.
You listen. Yeah, I'm not gonna call you out. Like, if you have questions and you from over on the dark side, which Turbo Danny, go ahead and ask away. I'm listening. I'm listening with my ears and I'm watching with my eyes, or I'm listening with my eyes and listening with my ears, or I don't know.
Yeah, however it goes. But I'm just saying, they don't open the wrong can of worms. If they want me involved, I guarantee we'll get involved because I have a lot of opinions that I can voice, but they're not worth my time.
Bless you, Serenity. Well, thank you. Well, unlike
Oh,
Sam,
bless
I
you.
will call your ass out. Not you specifically, but them over there and anybody else. And I listen and I do motherfucking judge, okay? All right.
Serenity said, "I'm watching you." I want to know right now. Danny, what is the excuse for you lying? Is Chris lying on you? Because I have it recorded. I guarantee that there is a screen record. Well, hello, babies. I guarantee you there is a recording of you yourself saying that you did not tell Danny you were 17 years old, or I was 17.
Oh, look at the monkey.
I'm pretty sure you did. Danny, take accountability. Grooming. Let's look up the definition together. Chris didn't say he was a
What did you
chomo.
just say? What did you just say that Danny said she didn't say or didn't hear? Or what was that? you
Danny
just
got on. Did you not hear it today? I got it, boo.
No, I took a long nap.
I worked 12 hours. I missed it all. But
Danny got on live this morning.
I like finding out that I'm a lesbian because I didn't know.
Well,
Looks like
I'm gonna have to stop being naked in front of you then.
They are live now. They're on another account because their account got took. So Mama Seven's trying to find a place to fit in.
Cause Carol,
Who's mom of
I
7 and where's these 7 kids at?
Well, Mama Seven is one of Turbo's.
no one knows because they're very quiet. And if you have kids and you hear them in the background, you are a bad mom because you should not hear your kids, girl.
Yeah. You've got
Oh,
kids.
well, that's crazy because I've been on live a lot, and my kids are in the background.
yeah.
Isn't it though? Mm-hmm. She and she likes to talk about teeth, but got summer teeth. Some are here, some are
What
missing,
are
some
moms
are there.
supposed to do? Just keep their kids in their bedroom?
We're supposed to lock them up.
You got talked about, team. That's the only reason that you got put out. And let me tell you, Dusty, yes, I absolutely know that you got jealous over T saying she was going to grab Chris's butt or whatever T said, and you said it was
She said
inappropriate. I already
that
knew that.
yeah, T said that she was gonna grab his beard.
Yeah.
What the,
Yeah.
what
I
the fuck?
already knew that.
Okay,
Dusty.
so I'm gonna get off of here, but I just wanted to clarify and make it clear. This is the first time I've been in a box, and I'm like, what did I do? But if they're gonna bring me in the middle of it, bring it on.
Yeah, I definitely heard that, and I wondered if it came from somewhere else. I wasn't sure what had happened. I was like, okay. Oh. And I even said, who's Athletics fam? Who is that?
Believe me, if you were in a box or you were talking shit, I would know about it. I would remember it because I
No matter
remember
on which side.
everything.
Yeah.
I got eyes everywhere.
Yeah, nope, never been in Sam's box. I've been in her live.
Yeah. No, they are grasping
Tamara, I'm gonna send you a screenshot. Hang on.
Spectre Gadget Arms is grasping for air.
So I'm just gonna keep count how many times my name gets mentioned since they're live.
What else should we address?
and make them look like a fool. But y'all have a good night.
Why
You too.
You too, hon.
Alrighty. Bye, guys.
Exactly.
Bye.
Why are you? What? And then y'all want to say that I'm some bad motherfucker that
Mama's subbing Nicole.
T, I just sent you a screenshot.
Let me go ahead and clarify.
Hey, Nicole, did you hear me and Sam were sleeping together? We're lovers.
Be a love in my heart.
Yeah, and me and Sam are too, Nicole.
Always,
Yep.
I guess I get her first, and then she goes to you, Mama C, or how are we doing this?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's news to me that I'm even a lesbian.
No, you're bi because
Yeah, I like my
If-
big, fat, juicy steaks. I'm just,
Carol, you jumped that fence quick.
I did.
All right,
And not
all
even
right,
for
all
Kentucky.
right.
Kentucky been trying for how long?
Simmer down, simmer down, simmer down.
Don't let that get to Kentucky.
right.
You didn't even get caught on the fence. You just went all out.
Get on around it.
I am really thinking about things now, Carol, because you just seen me make it too many times.
Well, I think it's funny too in one of the screen recordings I got that
I saw something come up.
they think Krista thinks that I'm not taking his job. Oh, I am. I promised you and my grandma. My nana is 6 feet under, and I'm taking your job. It's in the progress. Trust me.
Mama 7, Nicole. Mom of 7. Mama 7 is the account, right?
Mom of 7
It's
ABWW.
Tish's people, Nicole. That's where she's at. But Danny, okay. So here's what. Let me bring you up to speed, Mama C and Serenity. This is what happened. So of course I called Tish and Danny out on their bullshit last night. I said, listen. I said, you can deflect all you want, you can do whatever, but I want to know the answer of why Danny lied and said that me and Chris were not together because they knew it was wrong. And I want to know right now why y'all are sitting in the box with someone who was messing with an underage girl when they were above age. So when Chris came in, I think y'all seen all that, but when Chris came in, Chris said that Danny was like, I need to ask you some questions off the app. I'm going to put you and Cap in a box together, blah, 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 whatever. So Danny this morning, instead of taking accountability and being like, okay, well, you know, Chris was wrong or Chris wasn't wrong or whatever, there was no out for her. There was no out because I definitely have proof that Danny knew prior to all this. I definitely have proof that Tish knew prior to all of this that I was 16 years old. And Dusty, you're very mistaken. It was January of 2000. December 30th is my birthday. I had turned 16. December 30th. I went to Job Corps in January. I can get you those records. Chris was already 19 in January. So no, Chris was not just turning 19. Y'all have spun it so many times because y'all don't want to admit the truth. Krista will admit the truth because Chris does know that there is a very good chance that Chris can get in a lot of trouble for what Chris has done. So, when Tish was live,
It was on Snapchat.
right. So when Chris was live, or Danny was live, Danny said she was 17 and I think he was like 18 or something. And they're trying to spin it. So what they did, instead of taking their own accountability or doing whatever, they did what they do best.
Coming on to me.
They actually had Shushu in the box with them. I guess, I don't know how that led up. I haven't had time to watch it. I had things to deal with in real life. But they spun it to start telling Shushu that, well, do you know that she, her son, do you know that her kids were in the house when somebody bent over and showed their whole cooter pop, blah, 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 which was all lies. Was all lies, which they knew were lies. For one, if I would have zipped my son, he definitely wouldn't have laughed and said, oh, you got me, you got me, you got me. And for two, they had already tried that with the whole Beasley thing being in my house with the whole thing showing. So what they did was they spun it off of them quick because there was so many people in here last night watching and listening and hearing that Danny and Tish do not care if kids are involved. They don't give a shit. It's none of their business. They don't care. Age doesn't matter, right?
Sure doesn't.
They thought they were going to spin it to where they would go off on me and I would go back off on them. Turbo, I'm not going to lose focus. You're going to be held accountable for the fucking shit you've done. Danny, you're going to be held accountable for the fucking shit you've done. You've got the screen recording. I told you in your face what I'm going to do to you. I don't have to keep repeating it. So, She spun it off of her real quick. Avoided the whole subject, spun it off of her, riled them up on me. So there was a live that was held, and I got it sent to me, and they said, hey, they're calling you in the box. They want to know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I jumped in there. They asked me about the kid being in the background. I said, play the whole video. You'll see my kids weren't here. My kids were at their father's. And then it got brought up about the zit, and even they were like, well, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, the child definitely would not have. Now, if they continued on to talk about it because they did get a little more riled up over me smoking with my kids, whatever, I'm not here to fight with those people. I'm not, because that's what Tish wants to happen. That's what Tish does. Riled them up to go after me thinking that I'm going to go after them. I'm not going after them. They are not my focus. No offense to their opinion, no offense to my opinion. Listen, we can agree to disagree and walk away. At the end of the day, if y'all want to continue to hold lives out on me and what I'm doing, keep being distracted on what's really going on and what's really being done right here in everyone's face. Tish Hicks is Mac Nation. Worse than Mac Nation. So I came live and I addressed it and I said, Chris, I'm going to tell you right now in your fucking face, you better get on here and you better clear this shit up. Because if you don't, we are going to have a problem, because you know how I feel. And I have said this for 20 years of us being together. If you do it, own up to it. And if you don't, then you're going to pay the consequences. If you have to lie about what you're doing, you know it's wrong. Danny, you know it's wrong. Danny has lied multiple times over this situation because Danny wants it to fit Danny's narrative. So tonight when they went live, that's why Dusty tried to trim that back on. Or maybe Dusty tried to lie to y'all. I don't know, Danny. You got blocked, Rex. Did you go in on your main? Oh, they probably really love that. Oh, Danny's in there. So when Chris went live today, or just now or whatever, Dusty also tried to say, well, she was 17 and he was 18, fixing to be 19. No. And Chris corrected me.
everywhere.
Oh, hold on, Miss Christine, I'm gonna mute you.
It's always Danny's fault. Always.
Chris or Dusty tried to lie again, and Chris was like, "No, I was 19. I was."
I even went in there and I asked a question and I got blocked.
Well, there was the question was asked. So, did you tell Danny that she was 17? And he said, "I never told Danny." And he said, "I never told Danny." So, Danny, you're not going to back out of this. Tish, you're not going to back out of this. Y'all are going to be held accountable, and if not, then y'all need the same energy matched by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Thank you, Witchy. Listen, when people were listening, they were listening, because at the end of the day, Tish, you might think that you're going to turn people to start fighting. You might think that you're going to turn this away from you, but motherfucker, there's one thing I do know, and I know you, and I know how you operate, and you will never, ever lose my focus. These people can hold live after live after live after live after live after live on me, and guess what? I'm still focusing on you and your lies and your bullshit and how you gave my children's address and my children's names and my children's stuff out on this internet to strangers. I will never stop coming for you, but after 90 days I will, because I'm done.
Sam, did you see the message on TikTok that I sent you on who's back on TikTok?
Tamara, hold on just 1 second. I just want to tell Sam something real quick, and then you can have my box. Sam, you need to text me either on Facebook or I will give you my cell number, because these recordings may help you.
Yes, if you don't mind, send me your Samantha Sweeten. You'll have to find me on there, or you can just send me your number, baby.
I'll send you my number. Oh, I can do both. Either way.
Okay.
All right, Tamara, you can have my box.
Oh wait,
Thanks, Sam.
You're good. All right. See, I can't put you up. You ain't got a request in.
Get a request, baby.
She keeps saying it on her life.
You're good, Witchy. Somebody pop down. See, you got a request.
They aren't expecting me, so
All right.
I know everybody that's coming in. And you need to watch the name Mama of 7.
Oh yeah, that's Tish's name. That's the one who got on live and told everybody that everybody called CPS on her. And the funny part is we don't even know her name.
We don't know her.
Well,
She came around after
on there now.
we left.
They're on there now.
Yeah.
On that account.
Darcy, I don't have a message from you, baby.
Sam, can I please talk?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
I can't be real loud, but you lying ass motherfucker. Let me tell you something, you stinking ass son of a bitch. I never had your fucking ass on Snapchat, ever. Don't be telling me that I made a pass at you on Snapchat and you shot me down and that you
Not
told
too
Dusty.
scared for Chris. Jesus Christ.
Bitch, I ain't never found you attractive, so go make yourself feel better somewhere else. And was me and my significant other fighting, you got life fucked up. You ain't nothing but a goddamn chomo. I will come after you in the morning. I can't be on here yelling at you right now, but I'm coming for you, Chris. I want to see proof where you shot me down. I want to see proof where we talked on Snapchat, you lying piece of shit.
And there's that. That's exactly what part of the recording.
On your
I
other
got was.
TikTok, Sam.
Oh, okay, baby.
And I fully back that message.
And I sent it to girl too.
Not for
And I think
nothing,
I
I'm gonna jump out of the box so that I can still spy.
Okay. I'm just gonna say,
Oh, I don't care if anybody knows. Mac's back on TikTok.
is he really? Oh, no. Mac's still in jail. That's May May supporting Mac.
Okay, because I got a friend request and I'm
So that's May May supporting Mac. That is May May putting Mac on video chats. That is May May putting Mac on videos.
Well, hold on. Because he does have an iPad in
Oh, so
prison.
he might be back on from prison.
He might have an account, so I'll have to confirm that. I'll talk to Grow about that, and then I'll get back with you.
But I'll tell you what.
Serenity, I sent it to Grow.
I'll tell you what. That doesn't surprise me because
Okay,
he
cool.
has the nation on here. May May is pushing the nation. Tish has been over there with him, helping him push the nation. May May's working hand in hand.
And I believe I sent it to JP as well.
Hold on now. Give me one
Ain't that
second.
something to be in prison and be able to get on TikTok?
Daddy's leftovers are over in Samantha's. So all y'all motherfuckers are snakes.
Wait a minute, that means she don't got nothing to turn on. She just.
All right, y'all can talk. I'm sorry. I have to put the gingerbread up.
Chris, you motherfucker. Ain't nobody your motherfucking leftover bitch.
Grandma, being
Who's the leftovers?
Yes, they have Chris and Tish.
Calling us his leftovers.
I don't think nobody over here ever said
I almost vomited. I really literally almost vomited in my mouth.
So he's trying to be Tish right now, telling everybody they want Chris. Nobody wanted you.
Oh no, I would not divorce my husband of 13 years to go for that lot lizard. Ooh, no.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta see what's wrong with my baby. Hold on.
I give her.
Wanted to pretend to be.
No, thank you. Do I want that?
And I would not allow that.
So that Sam wouldn't know that you were here.
I think we'll all vomit together.
Fucking right. That's nasty.
They throw out
Yes.
the restaurants. Like to the trash. Anyone know?
Now,
what
Chris, they will tell you at one time in your life you was pretty yummy looking, but not anymore, honey. And
Look,
Tammy don't like masked women, so good luck.
evidently, you know,
Danny, Danielle Renee,
Okay.
evidently I'm a chomo.
Tish,
Um,
are you gonna deflect some more?
I'm only
Chris,
a
it's pretty
chomo
sad that you
because
sat there and you said that Caleb was yours. You said it multiple times. Multiple times.
Left your kids with me for a year.
It's funny how y'all picked and choose the questions that y'all answered too. That's even more funny to me. But I thought that
Right.
Dusty's child never had a real dad. But tonight, once again, y'all said that he comes and sits and eats at y'all's house.
Jesus.
So it's okay
Oh my God.
for Dusty's bio dad to be involved,
Sorry.
but it's not okay for the girl's dad to be involved?
There. Now you can do stuff to people. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm slipping. Sorry.
Athletic, and that's crazy. That is absolutely insane.
Lord.
Y'all please tap. TikTok shop.
Texas Savage.
North American candy bars.
You realize that you had everybody
JP, did you
over
see
there
any
on
of
that
it?
side believing that I was some monster that did things to you, that hit you.
Jackie Peacher.
but it was Samantha.
Yeah, I seen. I got the first half recorded, like most of it.
What do you think about it?
I think that they look like a bunch of dummies because did y'all see whenever Chris said no? I was 19, she was 16. Did y'all see Dusty's face?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which tells me that I guarantee Danny and Kat was probably talking to Dusty. Because last night, if you don't recall, when Danny told Chris that she needed to speak with him, Dusty said, well, y'all can just talk to me on Snap. So that tells me it probably was not Dusty, or it probably wasn't Chris. It was probably Dusty.
Did y'all see whenever somebody asked her how she was doing, she says,
Yelling at Destiny? That's pretty fucking sad because she's...
Right. I have trouble pronouncing my S's. That S sounded pretty good to me, old girl.
That's his blood niece. While they're over there talking about parenting, I'm going in there to help her. Hold on. They'll probably block me, but she needs to come up out of there. That is his blood niece. That's Destiny.
Not a cleaver.
Wow.
Oh no.
Cleaver is a knife.
Yeah, she's been in my box.
Meat hammer.
She's the one who always sits in my live and begs.
Yeah, I know who she is. I follow her.
Yeah, actually and honestly, her own parent. Chris's brother's about as good as a parent as Chris is. Hold on.
Yeah, I talked to your dad. And I told him exactly what was going on.
Oh, they're blocking. They're blocking fast.
He said, go ahead and drop her. Cut ties with her. Wash your hands with her. Go ahead and drop her.
Not with her.
Cut ties with her. Wash your hands with her.
No, wash your hands up.
Of her. Whatever.
It's right there, Kevin.
I smell trash.
Hello, Allie. Didn't she do that the other day?
First off, there is a kid in the background. That kid has come and approached Dusty more than once and asked that Dusty to please, and that's the grandbaby. But Dusty's too scared to get off that fucking screen to go tend to that baby while they always talk about me with my children. However, did Chris literally just say that John told Chris to wash his hands of Dusty? Of Destiny?
Okay.
Wow. Fucking wow. That's a special needs child, Danny. That's a special needs child that has severe issues of abandonment from that motherfucker. Yeah, hot dang. And that is Chris's blood niece that Chris tortured, that has begged and pleaded for Chris to talk to. And they wanted to parade her on an app and make her apologize to Chris.
How y'all conjured up this game.
That child had... Amberly, are you in here?
Wow.
That is the blood niece with special needs. Matter of fact, I will put her in my box when we stop. I don't ever put her in my box in the heat.
Right,
And I will let her talk to y'all. And y'all tell me if y'all think it is okay that Chris just did that to that child. That child was abandoned by Chris's brother to go live in a fucking attic or a fucking basement. Tell me they ate 2 peas in a fucking pot. To go live in a basement, dropped off in foster care, and mistreated for years while her daddy disowned her. I promise you that child is she is of age. She sure is, just like your daughter is, Dusty. Your fucking dumb ass, ignorant ass fucking daughter, Dusty. How fucking dare you, bitch? How fucking dare you? You're a fucking little badass kid that don't know how to clean her motherfucking kitchen. You bet. Oh, Dusty, keep coming for her. And I got something for you, boo. I'm gonna make you fucking cry, bitch. When I tell you, that's sick. Go ahead.
Dress up as...
I have what?
Y'all dress up as
No, that's sick.
JB, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna mute. You better take over it because I'm fixing to say something that they are gonna have to. I know.
Oh,
I'm on mute.
I will take this much truth and throw 1,000 people live.
It's just sad.
It's sad.
Hey, Recovery, you know you're in a box?
Always bad.
That ginger man,
I
red
thought you
man, looks
fixed
pretty
dinner.
pissy. Y'all better
Fix
stop
it.
on.
I thought she was working 3 jobs. How does she have time
She's
to be
fixing to
bad
whip some
bad?
ass.
Why
Kevin
isn't
said,
she
"Don't
taking
do
care
it,
of
Sam."
her kids? Kentucky ain't there to babysit.
Anyway,
You have 30
I don't think that we should have. I don't think we should have her in the box because they're recording and they'll just replay her, and drag her and trash her. And I don't want to subject her to that because at the end of the day, Chris is the piece of shit, and it's not her fault that he's the piece of shit.
but it goes again.
It's a fucking shame.
Hey, kids off limits. Where are you? Where are you?
Right, exactly.
You protect and you don't.
In the comments. They're in the comments. That's where they are. Fucking listening to it.
Bully worldwide, huh? But you're gonna watch them bully a special young lady. Wow.
I wish TikTok will let me come to this freaking screen right now.
No, she's a sweet little girl too. The one Sam's talking, she's a sweet little girl.
She really is.
I understand
Yeah,
why
Where she makes
people
cute
up
little
here
videos
just
of her dancing and
as
stuff.
Everything can, they really need to go
Halloween.
report that live.
Christian, Dusty, or Lucky, I'm in Canada because if I ever see that fat fucking Oompa Loompa bitch, I'm gonna fucking choke Mama No Neck in a fucking black alley.
Mama No Neck. I fucking love it here. I fucking love it here.
And that lot lizard, oh my god. Phew.
I mean, all the little girl wants is to be loved by her Aunt Crystal.
Just listening, it breaks my
Crystal,
heart.
go sit on your fucking ass, bitch.
What's he yelling at that girl for?
I don't know why
He's
she's yelling.
he's disgusting. He's disgusting. That's why.
He's a vile human being. If that's even what you want to call him.
Neither one of them have any morals at all.
Thank you for the roses.
And there is something mentally there is something really demented
Chris, why your pupils start
Dusty Crusty attic over there.
Chris, I'm gonna
That
tell you
fucking laugh.
Chris, I'm gonna tell you something,
Laugh that she does.
Fucking poke her eyeball.
It's so demented.
5 months
She what,
difference.
Sam?
So,
She's demonic.
Hold on 1 second.
if it was February,
Her laugh was worse
and
than nails on a
Sam
fucking
was
chalkboard.
16,
Yeah.
and they met in February, that means that Chris did not turn 19.
Danny over there
That Chris was
trying to make
18.
sense.
Because Chris's birthday,
Now she's doing math. I wonder if it's girl math. Girl math didn't work for you. That's why you have to scam.
That she was 17 if it was February.
She's still
So
trying to
that's why I
say
said
Chris
that.
was only 18. Listen to her.
I was just going based off of that.
Chris has corrected them over and over. Like she was.
Her birthday is the end of December, beginning of January. His birthday is the end of May.
His birthday is the end of May.
Age number 1, number 2.
Ta-da! Your mouth don't
He is
mess.
still trying to say.
Foreign age, number 1, number 2. So that's why
Yes, we are.
18. So she was.
Yeah, so it's like 2 years and 5 months or something like that.
No, it's
That's why I said 18. So if she was
No, bitch, it's 3 years. Do your fucking math.
she gave birth when she was 16.
no. I gave birth when I was 14.
How am
Dusty.
I a groomer?
14.
So how is he a groomer? She had it with somebody who was way older than Chris.
Oh, I did. We were in the same grade.
Oh, y'all didn't know
We were in
that.
the same school, same
you
grade.
didn't
Is
know
that the
that.
one that's 20 years
'Cause
old?
you're lying.
The one that's 20 years older than the.
What?
Oh, wait.
I don't fucking know. I'm so lost.
Don't you love hearing about your life from other people?
So,
Great.
yeah,
that's why I said that. I was just going based off of birthdays and math, but that was it.
Bitch, your math don't math. Go back to school.
What she has nothing to do with.
I'm dyslexic and I know how to fucking count.
Do y'all hear how vile these people are?
Okay, I'm gonna go back down into section 8 unless you need me some more. Someone just said about you taking accountability saying you were 18. I mean, I remember this being talked about, but I don't remember every single fucking detail of it because it really does not make an impact in my life either way or another. I know it was discussed about before, and now it's being brought up again for whatever reason.
You lied, and you're still
Understand
lying.
though, how can anybody call me a chomo? For 2 years, 3 years.
It's convenient now that his birthday is on May 27th, and Dusty. Hold on, y'all. Can I tell y'all I'm fucking fumigated? I'm fucking fumigated that they even sit there and watch Chris talk to that. Hold on, my niece is calling me. My niece, Chris. Hold on.
How did I call anybody?
I'm dyslexic, can't do math, but I sure as hell know how to do math. And that ain't 2 years, honey boo boo.
It's not at all 2 years.
16 to 19 is 3 years.
And then all of a
You know
sudden
what?
somebody came in and
Can
said
I-
something. Like,
Can I just say something?
you're just wanting,
Sure.
you're just wanting
I
somebody.
think I've lost a couple brain cells. Dumb motherfucking idiots.
I was 6 foot.
Dropping her name
Have they have told so many times they don't even know what the hell they're saying. Like, get it together because I'm slowly losing brain cells.
That's kind of fucked up.
If not, we're acting more smarter than they are.
Like, when I told y'all I was up here, now this makes twice that I'm in Sam's box. Let's keep that math going, guys. Twice.
They're a habit now.
I did it back twice because they're gonna try to say
6 times, Dusty,
Dusty can just sit there and just shut her mouth because she's just dumber than a box of rocks.
They blamed it on their being tired.
That's what you want to call it.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between someone that's 12 years old.
That's just how they
14
really
years
are.
old,
We're
and
getting a
you're
good
26,
dose of it.
27 years old.
Like, I had a headache before this. My headache is slowly going away.
Then someone who is 16, and someone who is
Dusty only knows what Chris has told her, but yet she acts like she was there in the household the whole time and knows everything.
That's exactly Willow's mom, what I was going to say. It's like she was there when Sam and Chris were in the bed doing the deed.
Yep.
And why are Chris's eyes dilated? Can we talk about that?
What about tired of y'all talking about Kristen?
I got sent the birthdays, and I mean that's what I was going off of.
Y'all gonna leave my friend alone.
I don't know.
Well, tell your friend, quit saying that I'm sleeping with somebody I'm not.
well, your math is mathing.
Don't even make mama see out to be a lesbian.
That's what they're saying.
Your math is not math and you dumb fuck. I'm in a box.
And sleeping with Kyler.
I didn't take accountability for all of TikTok.
Yeah, and she's sleeping with Kyler.
Tag teaming the both of you.
They call Tish Turbo, but I didn't see Tish overdose twice in front of I didn't see Tish overdose twice in front of her kid.
Give it to somebody else. I don't want it. This is tired. Give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else. I don't want it. I'm tired. This is tired. It's tired. As far as your niece, I know like there's like a lot of stuff there, but I don't know if my comment got ghosted. That's why I was telling you take a break, take a breath, because I think that situation's a lot deeper than just TikTok. You know what I mean? And I know it's hard to give somebody some grace, but just block her out. And if you want to talk to her privately, talk to her privately. You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit deeper than the TikTok bullshit. But that's just me.
I did that, and I told her. I said, you need to stop going over there because she's going to start manipulating you.
I love you, but you know, I gotta set a boundary with you.
She didn't stop.
Then you gotta set a boundary and just say, hey, look, I love you, but you know, I gotta set a boundary with you, and then not communicate, and you know, especially on TikTok. And then you just gotta stand on it. You know, if she comes over here, just quietly block her, and that's it.
You
And
just
just
gotta
do
go
it.
to her father and
Yeah,
have her father talk with her.
yeah.
Oh,
It's just,
fuck,
I
you know
don't,
what,
you know, when
man?
it gets to deep shit like that, I don't think it's part of TikTok's business. Like your dirty laundry and your family business and stuff like that ain't for everybody to see.
Yeah, did that.
What's going
You know what I'm
on?
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I get
It's
that.
brought up when she goes back over to Sam's live, gets in Sam's boxes, and doesn't talk shit because Chris won't give her the time of day. So it just is a never-ending circle.
Right. And you can't control what they do. You can only control how you respond. You know what I mean? And if there, I don't know if there's learning disabilities or not. But I just that's just,
I don't know what you need to take accountability for. I guess the
All
fact
of
that
TikTok.
you and Tish are happy. Take accountability for that.
let's not go that far. No, I'm just joking.
Take accountability for you actually, you know, loving your kid and caring for your kid and not.
Oh, that was part of it. Because of whatever happened at the Airbnb. Take accountability. Because, you know, you never knew Nan before the Airbnb.
What?
You don't know those people that were doing rugs in your Airbnb. You were letting your kids snuggle with all the rug addicts.
Well, that was my actual house. And me and Nan have been friends for multiple years. We just, every time she's come over, we didn't post videos all the time. We actually just hung out. Me and her have been live together before. And no one did rugs at my home. I never witnessed anybody doing rugs at my home, nor did they bring rugs to my home.
That's a lie.
But you know what? At least her kid didn't get a hold of any and ingest it.
Kids off limits.
God
Crystal.
damn, Chris, you talk about
Okay.
kids a lot, bitch.
Serenity, mute for a minute.
Good evening, I'm Byron Pitts at ABC News.
First off, Danny, while you over there running your mouth and you're trying to justify the fact that Chris just dog walked her fucking niece that is mentally handicapped, don't worry, I just talked to her. She's gonna be okay. Dusty, shut your fucking mouth about her because at the end of the day, you have no place. And at the second part of that is Dusty, y'all can't tell her that she can't come to her other aunts. We were literally, Amberly, she needs to talk to you.
You know what I mean?
We were literally together longer than she's been alive, okay? So she's always going to come to her Aunt Sam. But Chris, now that you want to put it out here on the fucking great big world of the app, tell these people what you did to her and don't lie to them and tell them that you helped her escape, because that's a lie. What actually happened was my best friend took her because she was being abused by you.
Oh, God.
Some up to the extent that I don't even know,
And then it was
because I worked all the time.
THC, and then it was then it was
Tell them what you did. She said I hit her.
and then it'll be
Yeah, whatever, don't care. You hit the niece with a meat thing.
It was a cleaver. Then
Meat.
changed it to the hammer.
It went from a meat cleaver to a hammer. So he can't even keep his story straight.
Yeah. So you definitely need to tell the world the truth why Ashley took her out of the house during the birthday party. Why you made her go lock herself in a room. Okay? Why you made her go lock herself in the room because her mentality is not of an adult. And she was trying to hang out with Braxton and them, and you made her go lock herself in a room. And when I went in there to check on her, she was gone. And me and Jason, my cousin, my family, went and looked for her because you didn't care. And for you to say John told you to wash your hands, of course he probably did, because he washed his hands of her too. That's sad. But don't worry, Danny, you keep sitting over there and supporting that, and I'm going to keep bringing awareness on how you just sat there with Chris and Sugar played this, well, set boundaries, and Danny, you have no fucking clue. You don't even know that child. That child is very special and has had the worst life.
Danny needs to set some goddamn boundaries. She needs to shut up. Set some boundaries with your mouth, Danny.
So, I can't do the big box right now, but I just wanted to math y'all. It was actually sent to me while I was talking to Destiny. The difference, day for day, between me and Chris is 3 years, 7 months, and 3 days.
I just walked up in this bitch.
So whatever y'all are doing over there, whatever y'all are doing, let me make sure. This was sent to me. Let me double check. We're gonna do May 27th, 1982 till. Hold on, I'm about to put the gingerbread up. She's gonna kick y'all down, and y'all are gonna see more than what. Then I'll really be going to the December 30th, 1985.
Those are the ones that always get the blunt end of shit.
Well,
I can't even have. I took TikTok off my phone. I don't even want TikTok, and I come on here
Hey,
and
let's see. It's making me do it again. Hold on.
address all this off of Dusty's, and then they want Dusty to shut her mouth, and I'm like, this is her
Then we're
TikTok.
gonna do 12:30. Oh wait, we put it in too many there. Hold on.
Tell her to shut up.
I'm dropping to the comments. I worked a 12-hour shift. I'm exhausted. I'll be here listening.
It is definitely 3 years.
Love
3
y'all.
years, 7 months, 3 days. That's excluding the end date, or 43 months and 3 days, or 1,313 days, or 113,443,2,000 seconds. I mean, what do you want to do with it? 31,512 hours, 187 weeks, 4 days. I mean, what you want, Danny? Put it in your mother.
How many years?
Put it in Google, guys. No matter what, we were 3 years. I had just turned 16. Chris was turning 20. Take accountability, and now you have a new accountability to take that I'm not going to stop. Chris, it was very easy for you to handle that situation. You could have blocked her.
It don't mean you gotta respond to it, and
Chrissy, anything they can, because people are going to believe it. I wonder how many people in them comments was like, yeah, it's 2 years. 16 to 19, 2 years and some months.
it's 2 years, like.
But now we have bigger fish to fry, Danny. Not only are you sitting over there trying to fit in while you get in, there's probably a reason why Tish isn't there, because Tish knows this is not a sticky situation now. So, yeah, it's probably the girl mad. So now we have a worse situation, Danny. Not only did you just sit there and justify that Chris was 19 years old and was sleeping with a 16-year-old girl, you've now sat there and watched Chris belittle and drag a mentally handicapped child.
You know, those people that are messaging you.
Yeah, yep, you did that. You fucking did that. You're a fucking winner, Danny. I pray that karma reaps your ass so motherfucking right and tight. And if you didn't just see that you're sitting with morons because you already knew what was said about your house. Nobody ever said your Airbnb, but Dusty obviously can't get her story straight. You might want to 411 your little friend Chris, because Chris is just gonna rock your ass too.
How fucking long now? Shit, the last
Just wait.
I'm all
Come on,
set.
accountability? Do we have any? Are we gonna take any?
Sam's live from the text me now bullshit.
I will take accountability that this is only my second time in your box.
Oh, and it is. And it is. It is, although, you know, Dusty, that's probably some more of those screen records like you have of me talking about turning Chris into the IRS. I'll wait.
I'll wait on these screenshots.
Viking, is that the right Viking? Was that the right Viking? That's who I needed right there. I've been looking for you.
I just get to hold on your
You're looking for who?
I've been looking for you.
Oh, I found you.
I keep sharing it to you
to have
because I want you to talk about the legal consent age and the Juliet law, and if a 16 and a 19-year-old is legal, and all of the yada yada yadas.
For what state?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Awesome. I know Louisiana. My daughter.
Can I give you this story real fast, Viking?
Yes.
So, the woman or man that I'm married to, and me, whenever we first got together, so, you know, Tish is all about, let's call out everybody, let's do this and let's do that. So, on my road to recovery, there's been a lot of questions of, did I think that I was groomed? Now, you can give me your honest opinion too. I still don't know. I'm still doing my own self situation. When I met Chris, now this is my story, so they can say whatever they want. This is my story. I'm not taking something from the internet. I'm not taking something from strangers. I'm telling you my story. I was 16 years old. I had turned 16 December 30th. Chris was 19 and was to turn 20 in May. When I met Chris at Job Corps. I was not emancipated. I was still under my mother's care. My mother actually tried to pursue charges against Chris, but it was very hard for my mother to do because I said that I was in love and I wasn't going to do that. I was 16 years old. I had never been with a woman before in my life, and I was head over heels in love. So, Danny and them are denying that I was 16. I don't know how they know how old I was better than I know how old I was, but they do. Now, Chris has admitted it multiple times. I can play it for you. Where Chris will come here. Well, Chris has said that I was 16, he was 19, and his exact words is what the fuck are you going to do about it? What? So, now, they don't want to hear it. Their age doesn't matter. We were both teenagers. Romeo and Juliet, anything that they can find to cover it. They also think that the age between 16 and 19 is only 2 years and some months. But anyway, you can go ahead and take it.
Mathing.
I mean, I did it myself. Actually, from birthday to birthday, it's like 3 years, 7 months, 3 days from birthday to birthday. So, we're back on this kick of, and you know how Tish works. We're back on that as long as it fits Tish's narrative. Well, all I said was match fucking energy. Match fucking energy. But Jenny, you were over there. Jenny, that's not what he said. I'll play it for you. That's what Dusty said. I'll play you what Chris said, and then Viking can tell y'all, because, I mean, I'm not real familiar what Viking does, but from my understanding, Viking's pretty good with this type stuff.
He does. He actually goes after P3DOs, and he's pretty knowledgeable in this area. That's why I've been sharing it to him all day.
Okay. Y'all ready?
All right.
All coming out. It's all coming. It's because we didn't hate each other. It wasn't until Samantha started.
I think I got the wrong one. I do. Hold on, it's right here.
It's 19. Let's go ahead and get your magic pen and paper. I was 19. She was 16.
Oh Lord, are you an asset to the trans community with that mentality? We don't care. This is an app. See, it did it again. Look, it's vibrating.
And then he says it again. And what did he say? He said that I turned.
How can you sit with someone who speaks ill on
Nobody I spoke ill on the trans community, especially the ones.
That's not the one. But he repeats it multiple times. But as you hear, right here, he says,
It's 19. Let's go ahead and get your magic pen and paper. I was 19. She was 16.
Lord, are you an
That's what I heard 19 and 16. So, Jenny, real quick, you might want to go re-listen to that again because you're wrong on the age on the 18. Like you just said, you just try to make it different. But no, I heard 16 and 19. I also see that as a 4-year difference, which covers the Romeo and Juliet law right off the rip. How long ago was this? How many years was this actually?
So I looked up that Romeo and Juliet law that you just spoke of, and
I'm pretty sure that happened after the point of fact, but
yeah. So the Romeo and Juliet law is only less than 2 years in Louisiana. There can only be 2 years between you and your significant other in Louisiana.
What year were you?
This started in
16.
2000.
You were 16 in 2000? Okay, so it would have been around. All right.
16 to 19 is not 2.5 years.
No.
And there is a statute of limitations in Louisiana. There is. It is 30 years after you turn 18 years old.
Correct.
Donald Trump is not playing.
I just
Now,
wanted you to.
the reason why the statute of limitation is so high is due to the fact that a lot of people, somebody brought up the thing grooming. A lot of times it takes years upon years before you get the knowledge of even knowing what grooming is. So if a person sits down and like reflects on themselves and thinks to themselves, you know what, I was really groomed by this person. I want to go ahead and pursue this stuff and see what happens. They're able to do it. There's probably, if you look it up, there's probably 3 to 4 states in the continental United States that actually has a statute of limitation of a high year amount. Everywhere else is usually 5 to 7. But the fact that you guys are in Job Corps, I don't know if he tried to use that excuse, think that you were older or you were emancipated, but that wouldn't have helped him either. Is this dude trying to talk shit on you right now?
So what is going on right now is this human being and me have been separated for 2 years, and I've already tried to get a divorce, and I can't get a divorce. Every time I submit the divorce, I can't get a divorce. They swear there's no divorce. I can give you the docket number. I will give you the docket number. I mean,
Louisiana's hard as heck. Louisiana, you legitly have to have a signature.
And he moved to Pennsylvania. So
Jenny, please mute.
So throughout this, I've had nothing but hell. But the main hell that I have is them speaking on my. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to turn your mic. Okay. So the main thing that I've had is in the midst of our relationship, there were children that were born, and it was after we were married. And that his name, he's a trans man, but that name went on the birth certificate. So we can't have a non-contested divorce because we have children. So I'm trying to get a divorce. In the meantime, my kids are listening to not him, but his girlfriend roast my children repeatedly over the app. Well, I've been getting my kids. My kids are in counseling, whatever. This has been a very traumatizing ordeal with them. It's been going on for 2 years, Viking. 2 years.
Does he have any DV on his record towards you at all? Damn.
Do we have charges and court cases against each other? They were all dropped. He put charges on me and then went into the courtroom and told them all that he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, which he was.
And so that's documented. So when you say in the state of Louisiana, when you say you can't have a contested divorce, go to the next courthouse, grab all that stuff, grab everything that shows that he was.
I just was told that the other day because one of the other things that we have is the in and out of rehabs. Throughout our whole marriage, in and out of rehab. There was lots of infidelity too. But in the state of Louisiana, if you take them back after you take them back, it's called habitualized behavior, and they don't recognize.
No, I don't understand why.
It's very hard to prove infidelity anyway, guys. I don't know if y'all know this, and I don't know if it's in any other state, but literally you have to see the two people doing the do to prove infidelity in Louisiana.
But even then it's still hard because they're like, well, that didn't happen, and that goes right there to hearsay. And a lot of times that won't happen.
Yeah, it is very extremely hard to prove adultery in the state of Louisiana. It's close to not. It's
the only way in Louisiana basically to win an adultery case is if the other
party will admit it.
Party's willing to admit it, or if an oopsie kid comes around, like, oh damn, that person's pregnant. Well, infidelity can be proven right there.
So in Louisiana, that one's a little more touchy too, because if you accept the first child, if you accept the first child, and it's the same partner, same time, you can't hardly prove it. I was actually going to admit to infidelity to get a divorce, and they told me it was habitualized behavior on both parts. Yeah. So now, mind you, Turbo has ran around here and drug everybody for everything they done. And guess who sits in Turbo's live now?
Who?
This person. Danny was the one, Turbo's girlfriend, Tish, that just went in there and said we were only 2 years and some months apart. I called them out on this. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I said, I want y'all to match energy because you're lying. You're lying when y'all say that you did not sit with Beasley. I met Beasley through y'all. Most of us did meet Beasley through Tish. This is not the first time that Tish Hicks has sat with somebody who has preyed on younger children. Not at all. So I said, I need matched energy. Y'all wanted to roast everybody, and y'all wanted everybody to jump on Sam, while Sam was saying, hey, it's not okay. It's not okay. Tish does hang with the Black Flags now, yes. They said that they don't understand why Mamie can't get a second chance. I don't understand. But
I can explain that.
Well,
I'm the reason why the Black Flags are getting torn up.
well, Mamie is Tish's right-hand man. So, I wanted matched energy. Well, I have 3 videos where Danny denied and lied. First, it was me and Chris wasn't together. Second, it was Chris was 18 and I was 17. How are you going to tell me the date of birth of the 2 people that were married? And now it's that they're only 2 years and some months apart, so it doesn't matter because it doesn't affect their life. Well, nothing else affects y'all's life either, but y'all want to go on it. Y'all want to pound on it. Y'all want to hammer on it. I told Chris, I said, you better quit lying about our ages because there is no statute of limitations. And from everything with my own personal, not a friend doctor, but grooming is real. It's real. And I'm not going to sit here and say that you groom me because I don't know. I really need to, because at one time I did love this person. A lot. A whole fucking lot. More than you would ever fucking imagine. There was nothing in this world that I wouldn't do for Chris.
I think a large majority of people that are groomed do attach themselves
They got that bond.
in a form of love to their groomer. Have you ever seen stories of people that have been kidnapped or trafficked and they actually form bonds and start to protect their
There's 2 people in this chat that know me personally, and that's my daughter, Maya, and then that's Chris's sister, Amber. And they will tell
well,
you.
here's the thing: at the young age that you are, he showed you things to where you thought that is what love is. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. So that is a trauma bond, and that is a type of grooming necessity.
That was a love that I never thought I deserved. I had a boyfriend when me and Chris got together. I'd never been.
7 months.
I'd never ever been with a woman before. And I actually didn't know that Chris was a woman to start with. Chris's name was Sky, portrayed himself as a man. We were not on the same dormitory. And Chris was very aware that I was not 17, nor was I of age, because when we all was going to go home one time, Chris, all this is documented, but when we were all going to go home one time, I couldn't leave with Chris because I had to leave with my parents. Because they couldn't release me to just leave on my own. I was a juvenile. So I wasn't able to go. But, like, when I tell you, like, it's hard for me to accept that because, you know, I really did. If Chris sits here and says I tell our story, no, motherfucker. If people really knew the story, they'd probably be fucking sick of it. By how you slept with someone. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, not here nor there, but I did. I loved that motherfucker more than anything in this world. There was nothing I wouldn't do. I rearranged my whole entire life. Anything that you could think of, I loved that motherfucker. And the only reason that motherfucker continues to bring up that I did what I did that last year that we were together whenever I started and I relapsed and I tried to take my own life is because I was at my breaking point. And I was no longer happy, but I was so fucking in love that I didn't know if I would ever survive without you.
Yeah, that's definitely a grooming. If you get to the point to where you feel like you can never live without the person that you're with because you know no other thing but that.
John, I try to take my life.
Hey, Kimmy in the comments. Kimmy in the comments down here talking about, I see nothing but children. Listen, you're part of the fucking problem, okay? You need to shut up.
I see nothing but kids that grow up. You see nothing but kids with what, Kimmy?
Hey, that's a fake account. I mean, if you have the saying, hey, this is my backup, don't block me, that obviously tells us to block you.
So, like, and this isn't nobody else that's talked to me. I've done my own therapy. I've done my own thing. And I'm going to tell you at the end of the day, when I read things and I read, because there's groups of these women that have been in relationships that were with these people for years. We're talking, me and Chris was together for 20 years, on and off for 20 years, 15 solid. And that's not, some of these people don't ever come out of it. But yes, that's exactly what happened. And you're going to hear them say that I ran off to Turbo. I actually went to Tish too. I relapsed. And on December 24th of 2022, I took ample amount of the snow, and I took an ample amount of the Methodist, and I took an ample amount of these medications that make you go real fast and lose a bunch of weight. And how God didn't take me is I don't know, but I didn't want to be here anymore because I didn't think that I would make it. Now, I'm better now, and I know that I'm better off than I've ever been, and I know that I'm even better off than I was with Chris. I don't know why Chris continues to scream and holler that I'm mad because the person that was my babysitter and the person that was my cook and the person... No.
See, on the outside looking in, I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but on the outside looking in, I honestly see that during this relationship, he made you feel something that you thought you'd never feel ever. But then he also, during that whole time, planted it in your head slowly. I mean, you go out and buy a plant. Yeah, you can buy a plant that's fully grown, but you still have to take care of it. No, what he did, he planted the seed and let it grow to make you think that you could not do it without him. So when it came to the time to where you wanted to give up, that seed blossomed to the point to where you thought, well, if I give up, I will never be able to do it without you. And that's exactly how I've seen it. That is a true definition of a trauma bond grooming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
I'll tell you right now, if you talk about therapy and stuff like that, if you were to go to the court systems and say, hey, I reflected upon this situation, I do feel like I've been groomed. When you file for the grooming on him with the no statute of limitation or the 30-year statute of limitation, before they do a court hearing, they will put you through a therapist and have you talk to a therapist. You will talk to them the way you're talking to us, and they will pick exactly what you're saying, and I guarantee you they will categorize it that
That's
yes.
what I was actually told earlier today was that the process to this will be that I would go and I would file for the whatever, but before it's not like, oh, I want to press charges on them for grooming me. I'm saying they're grooming me because at the end of the day, they're not going to go uproot somebody's life and destroy somebody's life without
No, they will put you, and it's not going to be a one-time therapy thing. You're going to go there about 2 or 3 times.
And they're going to want to hear like start to finish of everything that happened
Yes,
in your life.
and then when you come back, you're going to do the same exact thing. They're going to ask you different questions, but the same questions, just in a different way.
Yep.
And they're going to hear your answers and hear your answers. That's how they will determine if you have been brainwashed to a grooming spectrum and see if you have been planted in your head that, hey, I can't do this without him. This is all I know, this, that, and the other. And then they're also going to take into effect that, yeah, you were a 16-year-old girl still going through all this stuff. You were in Job Corps, so obviously you were somewhat a troublemaker in school and stuff like that, or you
No,
just
John, what
didn't
had
handle
happened?
school.
No, I'm sorry, I keep calling you John because that's Viking is another John.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Viking,
Why did you go to Job Corps? What was the reason?
So what happened for me to go to Job Corps was my stepfather was very, very abusive. Very, very abusive. And I got pregnant when I was 14 years old, and a situation happened with that child that's already been drug over the app, and I don't want to talk about it. But right after that happened, I ended up pregnant again. Same guy. They're hollering that it was a 20-year-old man. No, it wasn't. It was actually, I think Lex is in here. It was actually a guy that was in my class that we were together from first grade all the way until I left and went to Job Corps, and even after I went to Job Corps and had to inform him that I was with a woman. But the second
Chris saw you as a very vulnerable person.
I just got flagged for harassment and bullying, just to let y'all know.
Darn it, don't bully yourself.
So what happened was my stepfather, the second time I got pregnant, my stepfather took care of it himself. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not getting into the detail of that either. And when he took care of it himself, the people with them blue and red lights showed up, and they put my stepfather in these real pretty little silver chains, and they shipped him on off. While my stepfather was in that 8x10, he called out, and his father was a huge Mason, and he was going to get him out of jail or whatever, post his bail. And he told, we're fixing to probably go down, so I'm going to go to my backup guys. But he told my grandfather that if he came out before I could ever do anything,
Flagging me, really?
he told him that when he come out, if I was still in his house, that there would be no witness to testify against him in court. So if you know what that means, you know what that means. So
No face, no case.
my mother, exactly. So my mother had talked to my school counselor. I was actually a great kid. I made straight A's. I was an all-star ball player. I already had scholarships to go to.
Well, you basically went to Job Corps because of traumatic experience that was happening at home, regardless.
My mama chose to ship me away for me to be safe.
All right, that's gonna go good for you in court too when they figure that out, too. They're already gonna see that you were in a trauma situation as it is.
And there's
Did
records
this
of that.
know about the situation of what was going on?
Absolutely. So when I met
And
Chris,
so basically, that he showed you what he knew you needed to see. That's what happened. He showed you what you needed to see.
so when I met Chris at Job Corps, like I said, I didn't realize that Chris was a woman or man or whatever. But I always sat by myself when I was there. I was in a real bad state of depression, so I left everything that I loved behind. I'd never been to a big city. I always lived in a small area. We always went bowling. Like, I left all my friends. I left everything. I felt like my life was over, to be honest with you. I knew that my scholarships to where I wanted to go were no longer going to be there anymore. Like, it was very dramatic. So when I went there, I was not in a good frame of mind. I was very depressed. So you have outside time or whatever while you're in Job Corps. And I would go and I would sit. There was 2 pavilions, and I would sit underneath one of those pavilions, and I would sit by myself. And Chris would always come over because it's kind of like high school. Everybody kind of clicks up. And Chris would always come over there and be like, hey, you want to come hang out with us? You want to come? And I was like, no, I'm good. So he would sit there and he would chit chat with me. And, you're always welcome to hang out with us. I hate seeing you over by yourself. And I was like, no, I'm good. And I would either just read a book or I would color or whatever, just stay to myself. Well, probably about a week into being there, I finally was like, I'm just going to make the best of this. And he came over and asked me, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll come over there and hang out with you guys. So we started hanging out a little bit over there. And he was just like, what's your story? Like, where are you from? And I would tell him, I'm from a little bitty small town. This is all very new to me. And one day we sat on the edge of the basketball court. So the 2 pavilions, there was a basketball court with a ledge. And we sat on that, and he was like, I hear your story, and I hear that, you played ball. And he was like, why are you here? And I was like, well, because my stepfather wasn't the best human in the world, and this is just where I'm safe. And he was like, I'm sorry to hear that, da-da-da-da-da. And I just felt very connected to him. Like, he listened to me. He didn't judge me for my past. I confided parts of my life into him. And listen, when I tell y'all, it's hard for me to think that a person could. I don't get it. That's what I'm going to say. I don't get it. Like, how do you care so much about somebody but really be building them up? And I think that's probably the hardest part for me to say. Like, what really? Like, my whole life? I mean, we're not talking about a couple years. We were together for 20 years. And to know now that, because Chris has told me one time, Chris got with while we were married, Chris left and went and got with an 18-year-old girl that was mentally unstable. And when I asked Chris why Chris got with her, like, that was part of my ending of our marriage because I just couldn't get over it.
Wait, can you repeat that? He got with the 18-year-old girl that was going through what?
That was mentally handicapped.
Okay.
He was 40. 38 or 39, and she was 40. She had just graduated high school in May. But the big comeback to that was she was of age. But she graduated with her certificate of completion. Her mentality was 13 years old. Actually, when he left that little girl ended up in a bad state. Like, her mother talked about it. Like, it was bad. But when I asked him why he had got with her, his response was, she's easy to train. That was his response. And that didn't sit well with me. but we went through everything together. Like we ended up together in Job Corps. I did find out that he was not a he. That that was a woman, and it was too late. I didn't care. I was already there. I already loved him enough to stay. I rearranged my whole life. I went to Texas, which was where he was originally from, instead of staying here and going to college. I went to college in Texas, waited on him to come. He never came. A couple big things happened while we were in Job Corps, and I just couldn't break away from him. Like, I just would forgive for everything that we would go through. And there was always, like, prom night. I waited all night for him to show up. He didn't show up. He had left with a bunch of other people, and he just told me he couldn't do it because he felt like he wasn't worthy or whatever the hell was going on. I don't know. So for a couple years, from the time because I left Job Corps right as I was 17, and so from 17 to 21, I avoided him at all costs. I seen him one time in that period of time, and I wouldn't talk to him. I didn't want nothing to do with him, and I was leaned over my friend's truck fixing the radio at Mardi Gras in Shreve City, and he walked up behind me and he said, my mother passed away. And of course you're going to talk then, because that's a tragic moment. And so I kind of talked to him then. I kind of was like, I'm sorry, whatever. And I did give him my phone number. We talked for about 3 or 4 months. He had a girlfriend at that time, and so did I. We talked for about 3 or 4 months. I ended up pregnant with my oldest boy during that time. And he was telling me some off-the-wall shit, and I just kind of cut it off because I thought I knew he was on rugs. Didn't have nothing to do with him for about 6 months, and that was back in the MySpace days. And somebody had reached out to me on MySpace, and I thought it was his girlfriend. Well, it wasn't. It was him. And he gave me this huge story that he was in Minot, North Dakota, and they were depressed because there was nobody there and they didn't know anybody. And I was like, you know what, me and my son will come up, we'll hang out, we'll visit with y'all. So we did. And the very first night we were there, him and the girlfriend got into a knockdown drag out, and then it just proceeded to get worse. The girl I was with and Chris went outside to talk because I wouldn't put myself alone with Chris. I knew better. And Chris knew that I couldn't. I couldn't do it. My girlfriend at the time came in and told me that Chris was going to come back with us, and I said, that's going to be the worst mistake you ever make in your life, which it was. We weren't even back to Louisiana when he pinned me up to tell me how much he loved me still, and I was, the best thing that ever happened to him, and whatever. Came back to Louisiana, we got together, and our journey began, and we were together for about 6 months, and the first episode of Cheating started. It was that, his mom had passed, and he was going through it, and then about 6 months later, the rugs, and then the drinking, but I chose to stay through it all, because I loved him. And like, when I tell you, I don't know, like, if you've ever had like a love for somebody that was so dumb, that was so unreal. That was my love for Chris. But after going through it for 15 years, I broke, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, when my mother got sick and Chris took my mother's medication, I mean, my mother wasn't just sick. My mother had glioblastoma brain cancer, and Chris took my mom's medication. And I stayed with him through that. And then while my mother was passing, he went into rehab, and I stayed with him through that. And then there was just a lot going on. And when we got back together after he had kidnapped my child, which I couldn't do anything about because he was on her birth certificate, we got back together, and I felt like I was lost. Like, I knew that our relationship was no longer going to be healthy, and I knew that it was never going to be okay, and it was never going to get better, but I didn't know how to get out, because no matter how far I would run or how far I would get away, I even left the state at one time to try to end my relationship with Chris, and I came right back. That as long as Chris, if Chris called, I would always be there. If Chris, did, and for the first year after we were separated, we've been separated 2 years now, but I guess probably for the first year, 6 months, year and a half, I stayed very single because I always feared that Chris would give me that phone call and I didn't know how I would react.
Well, listening to what he's said, especially like, oh, I got with this 18-year-old because she's easy to train. Now that you're on the outside looking into seeing exactly what he's doing, you're going to see how he does a trauma bond.
We watched it with this relationship.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I got to answer this.
There's just been a lot with it. I'm going to tell y'all now, and this is probably why Chris did admit tonight that we were together at that age, because there was a time that I had a chance to have Chris arrested. So Chris, Dusty, here you go. You love, and you say I always talk about y'all. Tish, listen real closely, bitch, because this isn't the first time I've told this story. There's probably several people in here that's heard this story. When I was pregnant with Keegan, Chris threw me over an ottoman. I'm not going into that one. But the second one, I could have had Chris, while you're sitting here trying to throw out charges, tell these people why I got them charges because you work for the fucking town. Them charges are not there because they got dismissed because they were false accusations. But Chris came to my house when I was 8.5 months pregnant with Riley, drunk, with the 18-year-old girl. Pulled up in my yard to give my kids some barbecue chicken. And I met him outside and I said he needed to leave because it wasn't fair to my kids to have to watch him in this sick situation. My kids actually went to school with her brothers. And because I wouldn't allow Chris to come up on my porch, Chris drugged me down my stairs 8.5 months pregnant, drunk and under the influence. They did put Chris in the back of a cop car, but they only put Chris in the back of that cop car to drive Chris home because Chris was too intoxicated to drive himself home. I left in the back of an ambulance. When I came home from the hospital, I had a deputy meet me that wanted me to pursue charges. And I went all the way through with it until my 16-year-old boy that Chris is screaming and hollering, them aren't my kids, turned and looked at me and said, Mama, please don't put my dog in jail. Please don't put my dog in jail. Because Chris was fixing to catch a fucking felony. I was a pregnant woman that he just drugged down steps. And I couldn't do it to my kid. I couldn't. There was no way. There was no way. And Chris, you know you were fixing to go to jail that day because you went and took a shower and got ready to go because you knew that you had done wrong. And Braxton, the child that you scream and holler about, that's not your child, spared you that day. That was going to be hard. That was going to be hard anyway because that was going to fuck up the rest of your life. But there was a statement wrote and everything, and it was supposed to be signed, sealed, and delivered by the constable to have you put in handcuffs. They had already called the deputy up there to go arrest you. So those kids that you scream and holler and that you've manipulated too, Chris, I don't want you in my kid's life. That's what you don't understand. I'm not trying to make you be a parent. I'm done with that. I don't want you nowhere near my children. But at the end of the day, they want you in